Hey, so welcome to day one. First of all, I want to say thank you for trusting me and guiding you through this series. I'm super excited about it, and I wouldn't want to be here with anybody else but you. So let's talk about our practice today. Day one is intended to be a morning flow, but don't worry if it's not morning. It's no big deal. This sequence can be done any time of day or night. Simply a gentle sequence bringing breath and motion together to create a meditative movement which helps to bring us into the present moment. And living in the present is a super important thing, because spending too much time outside of this space is the root cause of anxiety, anger, depression. Because when we're worried about yesterday and afraid of tomorrow, we can't enjoy today. So I encourage you to focus on your breath as we move through this sequence, letting everything else go. There will be a place and time for it, but it is not right now. Everything can wait. This time is for you, and this time is for the present. And the more often we practice being in the present, before long, we realize that we have nowhere else to be. And the joy and relief that this knowledge brings is what we're all after, right? A happy and healthy life. You're going to want a few props today: a folded blanket as well as a bolster. But don't worry if you don't have a store-bought bolster laying around. Any pillow will work, so just grabbing a pillow or two off of your bed and bringing those to your mat is a perfect solution or a perfect substitute. And as for the blanket, any blanket will work as long as you can fold it over a couple of times to provide your seat with some padding. So go ahead, take a moment, maybe pause the video and gather these to you. Begin to settle into your quiet space, and when you're ready, I'll see you on the mat. We'll begin our practice today in a supported child's pose. So finding your bolster, come to a seat on your heels with the knees spread wide. Big toes to touch, and the bolster rests long ways with our torso between the thighs. As you inhale, begin to sit up tall. Exhaling, begin to spill forward, allowing the bolster to support you. Maybe the eyes begin to close. And everything else falls away as we begin to arrive on our mats. And awareness comes into our breath. Not necessarily changing anything just yet, but simply noticing the quality of your breath. And then perhaps beginning to lengthen your inhales. And a deeper release with the exhales. On our next inhale, begin to sit up tall, walking the hands towards the hips and setting the bolster aside. We'll come into a wide-legged seat. Feet are flexed and we stick our bum out. Hands come to rest on either thigh. With an inhale, sit up tall, rotating the torso to face the right knee. As you exhale, hinge at the hips over the right leg. Inhale, come back to center And rotating the torso to face the left knee. Exhale, fold over the left leg. Inhale, come back to center. Exhaling, fold right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, switching, fold left. Inhaling, come back to center and continue on at your own pace, moving with your breath. Inhaling to center and exhaling to spill forward. Inhaling back to center, we'll find a seated cat-cow. Bringing the soles of feet together, clasp the hands around the ankles or feet, and we'll inhale, arch the spine, lift the gaze, shoulders pull back, belly releases. Exhaling, tuck the chin, dome the spine, press the palms into the ankles, belly pulls in. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, dome and release. And continuing on here at your own pace, take several rounds of breath. Inhaling, come back to stillness. And leaving the legs as they are, begin to exhale and walk the hands out behind you. Finding length in the arms, and maybe the head begins to release backwards as you puff up your chest. The heart opens, the throat opens. The belly is soft, the face is soft. On the next inhale, fill all the way up, breathing all the way down into the belly. Pausing at the top, finding that space between breaths and heartbeats. Then an open mouth, cleansing exhale, let it all go. Inhaling, fill up. Find your maximum breath. And then an open mouth, cleansing exhale, let it all go. Last time, inhale, fill up. Holding at the top. And then open mouth, audible exhale, let it go. And then releasing the arms, find your way onto your back in a reclined bound ankle. Option to place blocks or blankets underneath the knees for support. One hand comes to your heart, the other hand comes to the belly. As we allow the eyes to close, we settle into stillness. Knowing that stillness can never be mistaken as idleness. That stillness may be the most difficult thing that you do today. For a still mind is a strong mind. And only through practice can we find stillness. So as we rest here in Shavasana, know that it's okay if your thoughts begin to wander. Simply acknowledging them and setting them aside, coming back to stillness. Because each time we do this, we strengthen our skill. With repetition comes mastery. I will mind the time while you enjoy the stillness. Begin to bring awareness back into the body. Maybe finding motion in the fingers and the toes. If it feels good, on the next inhale, finding a full body stretch. And as you exhale, find a C shape, inching the wrists and ankles a few inches to the right. On your next inhale, come back to center. And exhale, find a C shape to the left. Reaching through fingers and toes, inhale, come back to center. And keeping your eyes closed, make your way onto your side. Taking the last few moments to gather up the stillness, the competence, the creativity that we've cultivated today in our practice, so that we might carry it with us throughout the rest of our day. When you're ready, on an inhale, press into your palms and make your way into an easy seat. Arms reach out and overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in each and every one of you. Together we say, Namaste. Hey, so after spending a few minutes in the present, how do you feel? A little bit calmer, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more focused? Hopefully at least one of these. Maybe a little bit refreshed. And this feels good, and I'm so glad that it feels good. But let's take a moment and talk about the real reason living in the present is so important. It's important because we spend most of our lives, most people spend most of their lives reacting to situations versus responding to them. And the difference in this is our ability to affect the changes that we want to see in our life. And reacting means that we are coming and choosing a set of behaviors or a response based on either the past, how a previous situation that seems similar went down, or based on fear of a future event. So the past or the present, our fears, our worries are allowed to color a current situation, causing us to automatically just react, versus having the presence of mind to evaluate a situation and respond based on the current circumstances. Hopefully you can see the difference there. You know, we talked about this a little bit in our introduction. Whenever I was mentioning about how grounding connects us with our true nature by bringing us entirely into the present and reminding us of the connection that we share with each other as well as the earth. So living in this presence allows us to address each situation and appreciate it for its unique, totally uniqueness. This moment will never happen again. Neither will this one or this one or this one. It might be similar to ones that you've experienced in the past, but it is not the same. And every moment is an evolving universe of possibilities. And the mental space that we live in, when we understand this infinite possibilities of the present, allows us to change the way we act, we think, we behave. Responding accordingly to the present moment helps us to achieve our goals versus getting stuck in a rut because we're reacting the same way over and over and over again in a mechanical response. So kids are wonderful at this, right? Because they really are experiencing for the first time at any given moment whenever they're first starting out. And you see, we just love this, the joy and the excitement, the exhilaration that a caterpillar on the sidewalk holds for a little kid, right? And we start to miss that sort of stuff. But we can actively and intentionally live in the present so that we can continue to have these same sort of experiences. So I have a little bit of a journaling exercise for you today. Write it down if you want to write it down, say it out loud if you want to say it out loud, or just think it in your head, whatever works best for you. But just think about your interactions today, the things that you've seen, the people you've talked to, the sensations you've experienced. And take them out of this perspective of the same old, your routine, and try to look at them through a new lens. The lens of a child, the lens of a newborn. Experience it for the first time and see how your breakfast today might be miraculous and amazing if you addressed it from the perspective of the present versus the reactionary space of the past. And you can apply this to anything. So pick 3 things that you want to look at, that you want to evaluate, and how might they have appeared to you, or you might have experienced them differently through fresh eyes versus reactory lenses. I had a great time today. I really enjoyed day 1. I love a nice gentle practice. I will be back here ready for you whenever you're ready tomorrow in day 2, which focuses on centering. We'll begin to learn how to come into the quiet spaces that we can find when we are living presently. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until next time, be well.